Last night's WNBA Finals game was absolutely rigged, and there is so much proof. What a terrible way to end this WNBA season. What if I told you that the winner of the WNBA Finals was decided before the opening tip-off? Sounds wild, right? Well, that's exactly what Rachel DeMita is exposing. Rachel is a basketball commentator and former player who knows the game inside and out. She did some serious digging into the calls made during the WNBA Finals, and what she found is baffling. This isn't some ordinary rant, folks. Rachel is laying down receipts. And today, we're going to unpack every last detail of what looks dangerously like a rigged game. Let's paint the picture. It's the last few seconds of regulation in the finals, and the arena is buzzing with energy. The Lynx are up by 2, the Liberty are desperate, and everyone's glued to the action. Then, boom. Breanna Stewart catches the ball at the three-point line. She's got just enough time to make a move, and here's where things get messy. Now, count the steps that Breanna Stewart traveled. 1, 2, 3. Wait for. That's right, folks. She takes at least 4 steps without a single dribble. In any other game, that's a textbook travel foul. But here, not a peep from the refs. Breanna Stewart traveled, missed the shot, and in that moment, the refs got the call in their earpieces from Uncle Polly to bail out the New York Liberty and put Stewart at the line. When NBA players are calling you out for the officiating, you know you rigged the game. Stewart's barreling down the court like she's on a stroll through Central Park, and everyone is just supposed to act like they didn't see it. It seems that the refs desperately wanted New York Liberty to win. Fans were practically screaming at their screens, wondering if the refs were just on a bathroom break during this one. But hold on, it only gets weirder. So, Stewart goes up for the shot, and here comes Elena Smith, perfectly positioned to contest. And when I say perfectly, I mean there's daylight between them. Smith's hands are up, her feet are set, and there's not even the slightest graze on Stewart. Yet somehow, as if by magic, we hear it. Whistle. A foul on Smith. The crowd went nuts, jaws on the floor, while Liberty fans were holding back their giggles. They know what just happened, and they can't believe they're getting away with it. Meanwhile, the refs are standing there, acting like they didn't just hand out the most generous call in finals history. All ball, plus she traveled twice before this foul call. #rigged. This was wild as it was. And fans were waiting for the refs to clear this mess out. But the response that came out was like putting gasoline over a burning flame. When asked about this phantom foul, referees offered a head-scratcher instead of an answer. Smith wasn't in a legal guarding position. Yeah, what does that even mean? Rachel DeMita couldn't hold back. She spent her life in this game. She's played it, reported on it, lived it. And she's sitting there wondering if she missed the memo on this bizarre rule, which is called more rarely than a Bigfoot sighting. Rachel even pointed out that while Liberty players were getting free passes to the line, Lynx star Nafisa Collier was getting hacked under the basket with no calls. Social media was on fire, and hashtags were trending with fans venting their outrage in real time. Gee, I wonder why rigged is trending in sports. WNBA, you want to gain fans, but you lost a lot of credibility, and you probably lost a lot of fans because of what you pulled last night. You clearly wanted one team to win over the other. If you like the video, please subscribe the channel. And when fans start talking about officiating more than the championship itself, you know the league has a problem. People weren't just upset. They were calling this one of the most blatantly biased games they'd ever seen. Not only the fans, but veteran analysts also called out this blatant act of cheating. Jason Whitlock took to X, stating, "That game was a disgrace to sportsmanship." And when you've got NBA superstars jumping into the conversation as well, you know it's serious. LeBron James, one of the most respected voices in basketball, didn't mince words. He tweeted, calling the foul call a disgrace and urging officials to let players decide the game's outcome. Damian Lillard chimed in too, saying the refs officiated the game like they had a script to follow. Isaiah Thomas also called out the unfair play, blatantly stating that it was a rigged game. Rachel kept pulling at the threads, and things kept unraveling. She dove into the game's timing, each call, each missed foul. And the more she dug, the clearer it became. This wasn't just a couple of missed calls. This was looking like a systematic setup to help one team. And as if we needed more fuel on this fire, the WNBA commissioner stepped onto the court after the game, and what was she wearing? A dress covered in the New York City skyline. Yes, the same New York team that just won the finals. Social media erupted. Fans called it the smoking gun. Even former WNBA players were floored, pointing out how unprofessional it was for a commissioner to rock team colors at a supposed neutral event. Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve took things to a whole new level. In her post-game interview, she didn't hold back. She demanded consistency in officiating, telling the WNBA straight up, if you're going to call it one way, call it the same on both ends. She's been around long enough to know the game, and to her, This wasn't just bad officiating. This was a rigged setup. And now, Rachel is exposing something even darker, the WNBA allegedly destroying evidence of the rigged play. Yes, evidence of questionable calls started disappearing faster than evidence at a crime scene. So where does this leave the WNBA? Right now, they're standing in the middle of a credibility crisis. This finals game was the highest rated in 20 years. But instead of celebrating, the league is facing questions about its integrity. The question isn't whether the finals were fair anymore. It's why the WNBA thought they could pull this off, and what they'll do to fix it. Will they address it head-on, or is this just the beginning of a bigger mess? One thing's for sure, the WNBA has got some serious work ahead of themselves. So what do you think? Was this game rigged, or was it just a series of bad calls? Should the WNBA address this publicly? Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates on this unfolding story. If you like the video, please subscribe the channel. Thanks you so much.